triggers love to hide inside business tasks. Sending invoices, pitching, following up. Hey squirrels, welcome to ADHD, where ADHD isn't some clinical diagnosis, it's just life. I'm AV, your always honest tour guide through this beautiful mess. Over here, we're not about fixing yourself. We're about figuring out how to actually enjoy your life as you are. So grab a snack and let's go. We are back with another episode of the Calm Framework. And today we're talking about emotional awareness. So first, let's talk about what emotional awareness is not. Emotional awareness is not about sitting cross-legged on a yoga mat, chanting. It's about how you run your business every single day. It's not just for people who have the luxury. And picture this. You have a big Zoom call, Google Meet, whatever. And there's lots of people in the room. And the client pushes back. And you log off. You're totally fine. You have a smile on your face, but inside you're unraveling. And suddenly you are short with your kids. You're doom scrolling on your feed, or you're spiraling into this, like, I'm failing at everything. That moment, that exact moment, it's not about the Zoom call or the client pushback. It's about the pattern. What just fired in your body? What story did your brain just write? And how is it pulling you way off track? Ooh, and this is a rough one. Self-awareness is a true and critical skill. And today I'm talking to all of my entrepreneurs and all of my neurodivergent entrepreneurs, and also all of my men out here. Okay, don't run away, please don't run away. I swear we do this with love. Self-awareness and emotional awareness need to exist in your business. And if they don't, you're going to be missing out on real practical business opportunities, and women are going to continue owning more businesses than men, and they're going to leave you behind in the dust. So don't get left behind in the dust. It's time to learn. Okay? This is emotional awareness in action. It's not like woo-woo. It's not fluff. It's the space between what happens and how you respond, and then how you continue to respond throughout the day. If you don't catch it, if you don't catch what is happening, then that pattern runs the entire day. But if you do catch it, then you reclaim control. You get to remain in control. And that is so important for your business. So how do we start to recognize emotional patterns that are sabotaging your progress? Well, we all have sabotage cycles. They're like preset playlists that, like, start blasting when we're under stress, and they sound the same every single freaking time. Here are three big ones. The first is meltdown and freeze. Emotional overload leads to avoidance, and then the pile grows. An example of that, I very recently got some negative feedback about myself. I was emotionally overloaded. I avoided the stuff that I needed to be doing that day. And then the next day and the next day and the next day, I think it took me 4 days of being kind of low productivity, which is avoidance. And I'm whispering because I don't want myself to hear. And then the pile grows, and then you come back to a massive fucking pile, and that's annoying. The overwork and crash, another classic. You push harder to prove yourself, right? Leads to exhaustion, leads to resentment. What this looks like is agreeing to a project at work, taking something extra onto your plate to impress your boss or your colleagues or your coworkers or yourself. Then you're exhausted, and then you're annoyed at the people who even pushed you to do that in the first place. But the people who pushed you to do that in the first place, my friend, is you. And then another just chef's kiss classic is the perfectionism loop. Endless editing, revising, rewording, leading to never hitting send. All of these things, there is something that triggers, then there is an emotional pattern of sabotage, where you either melt down, you try and prove yourself by overworking, or you chase perfectionism. And then that leads to a resentment and exhaustion and avoidance of something. that puts you in a bad place. The end of each one of those is bad. The point here isn't to shame yourself ever or at all. It's to map these cycles the same way that you would map a process in your business. And then once you know the loop, you can interrupt it sooner. So, what is the loop? The loop is trigger, task avoidance, shame. Trigger, task avoidance, shame. Trigger, task avoidance, shame. And it goes around and around and around because triggers love to hide inside business tasks. Sending invoices, pitching, following up. Let's 1 second. Sending invoices. Why is that hard? When you are sending invoices, you have to consider maybe you have something about value surrounding yourself or your pricing or your something. Maybe it's just the literal task that you haven't done. Pitching. Yeah, maybe you hate pitching, or maybe you're scared they're going to say no. Maybe you're scared you're going to do a bad job. Maybe you're just scared. Following up. Yeah, maybe you forgot. Maybe. Or maybe someone reminded you and you still didn't follow up. Again, maybe you're scared they're going to say no. Maybe you're embarrassed that it took you so long to get back to them. But the cycle is the same. It looks like trigger, avoid the task, the shame builds, and then the shame strengthens the trigger. That's why the old school advice of just doing it feels like totally freaking useless. Because when you're caught in that loop, it's not that I'm being lazy. It's not that I need to just do it. It's that there's an emotional snag that I need to acknowledge. Now, y'all know me at this point. We're not going to stop there, okay? It's not like, see, there's a reason. Okay, great. The reason that we know that we seek out the reasoning, the reason that we look for the answers is so we can fix it and do something about it. So let's talk about that phrase, just do it. Okay? It's actually really good advice, but not in the grind it out, hustle till you drop, like, I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of a way. That version actually leaves you drained and empty and with like nothing to build on because you're suppressing. Here's the upgraded version of just do it. Notice that it feels hard. This is something that I am struggling with. And by this is something, you have to be very specific about what it is that you're struggling with. This is difficult. Is it the sending the invoice that's difficult? Okay. So let's talk about sending the invoice. Calm your system. All we're doing right now is just sending an invoice. We are fine. We are safe. This is not an indication of our value and our worth as a human being. Do box breathing, do a grounding technique, take a walk, take a cold shower, chill out, calm your system. Intentionally decide to move forward. We're going to do this today. It's time. And then do it. One piece at a time with grace and compassion. And if you forget or if you get off track or if you try and run away or if you whatever, one tiny step at a time, 1 foot forward, 1 foot in front of the other. And that is what regulation looks like. It's not pushing your feelings down, but acknowledging them, bringing them up. Hey, feeling, I see you. That's cool. We are going to decide what the next move is with clarity. And you, again, you're the decider. You're the adult in your life. So yeah, the feeling came up and it exists. Okay, that's fine. I see you. I'm going to do this next. Moving forward with clarity, strength, and intentionality. As always, I'm going to give you guys some practical tools because why would I leave you without any practical tools? 2 quick things. Journaling. Don't leave. Literally 3 minutes. Okay? What happened? What's the story I made up about it? What's the actual truth? My nephew calls it storifying, or I don't know, he learned the term storifying. But the thing happened and you made up a story in your head about it. I didn't send the invoice. So the story in my head that I made up about it is that I am a terrific and colossal piece of shit who didn't send my invoice. The client is going to be so mad at me that it's coming in late. They're not even going to pay it because it came in late. And by the way, I probably am overcharging them or maybe I'm undercharging them or I'm not really sure but that's the story I made up about it. And then what's the actual truth? I haven't sent the invoice yet. I'm going to send it now. That's it. It's devoid of any value judgment. It just is what it is. And then you move forward. Write it down. Journal about it. What happened? What story did I make up? What's the actual truth? And I am saying, write it down. I didn't say think about it in your mind. Write it down. Talk it out to ChatGPT. Get it out of your body. Keeping it in your mind doesn't help. Okay. Practical tip number 2, you can always do a body scan reset. All right. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. I said, close your eyes. Start at your forehead. Notice. Notice the sensations. Go to your jaw, your shoulders, your chest, your stomach, your legs. Don't fix. Don't judge. Just notice. Top to bottom. That anchors you in the present moment, and it will often tell you where the tension is hiding. But even if it doesn't tell you anything and you just took a moment to touch base with yourself, one day it will tell you something. You're building a tiny, tiny practice. You're starting from the beginning, and that's okay. It takes time. But y'all, emotional awareness is not like woo, and it's not fluff, and it's not only for women, okay? It's strategy. And the more fluent that you are in your inner signals, the faster you bounce back from setbacks. The clearer your decisions are, the more consistent your performance is. So treat your emotions like business data. You would never ignore business data. That would be crazy. So track them, map the patterns, use that to make smarter choices. Because the entrepreneurs who sustain success are not the ones who grind the hardest. They're the ones who stay steady when the storm hits. And you can only stay steady when you know what triggers the storm inside you. As always, squirrels, I want to hear from you. I love hearing from you. Let me know, what did you learn about yourself this week? And if you're interested in knowing more about the calm framework or emotional awareness or strategy setting or any of the things that we talked about today, definitely come back and see us next week where we're going to be talking more about calm and regulation in your business. And reach out to us on social media. We love to hear from you, and I would love to talk to you. If you feel like there's something that I can help you with in real life, like you're having a problem that you just wanted to chat to, you know, an unbiased person about, I love jumping on calls with y'all. Let me know. And until then, don't forget to hydrate because I can't remember the last time I drank water. I will see you next week, squirrels. Bye.